The Sean Diddy Combs trial is everywhere right now. YouTube, news feeds, you name it. Everyone's talking about the explosive allegations. Sex trafficking, racketeering, abuse. It's a lot. But today, we're not just rehashing courtroom drama. We're digging deeper into what this trial reveals about the music industry's darker side, how power, control, and exploitation shape the lives of artists and workers behind the scenes. This isn't just about one man, it's about a system. So let's break it down. Sean Combs, known as Diddy, Puff Daddy, or Love, is a music icon. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993, launching legends like the Notorious B.I.G, Mary J. Blige, and Faith Evans. He's built a business empire worth nearly $1 billion, from music to fashion to TV. But in September 2024, Combs was arrested in New York and charged with serious crimes: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation for prostitution. Prosecutors allege he ran a criminal enterprise through his businesses, intimidating and abusing people for years. The allegations are heavy, and out of respect for the victims, I won't dive into every graphic detail. But the testimony we're hearing paints a picture of control, fear, and power, not just in Diddy's world, but in the music industry as a whole. One of the most powerful voices in the trial is Cassandra Ventura, known as Cassie, a singer once signed to Bad Boy Records and Combs' ex-girlfriend. Cassie testified that over their 10-year relationship, from 2007 to 2017, Combs physically abused her, allegedly hitting, kicking, and dragging her. She described being pressured into what prosecutors call freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties Combs allegedly orchestrated and recorded. Cassie said she felt trapped, not just emotionally, but professionally. Combs reportedly threatened to shelve her mixtape if she didn't comply, showing how he used his control over her music career as leverage. Another witness, a former assistant using the pseudonym Mia, worked for Combs from 2009 to 2017. She testified that he assaulted her multiple times, including an incident where he climbed into her bed and raped her. Mia also witnessed Combs violently attack Cassie, once cracking her head open. She described a brutal work environment, sometimes going 5 days without sleep, and said she felt terrified and trapped. Disobeying Combs could mean losing her job, her income, or worse. These stories are gut-wrenching. They're about real people, artists, assistants, stylists, who say they were controlled by someone with immense power. But this isn't just about Diddy. The trial is exposing patterns we've seen in the music industry for decades. The music industry has a long history of powerful figures exploiting those below them. Look at R. Kelly, convicted in 2021 for racketeering and sex trafficking. Like Combs, he allegedly used his fame and label influence to silence victims and control young artists, some as young as 15. His power let him operate unchecked for years. Or take Dr. Dre, who faced allegations of violence against women in the 90s, including journalist Dee Barnes. Despite those claims, his career soared, showing how the industry often prioritizes profit over accountability. Then there's the business side. Record labels have a track record of exploiting artists through predatory contracts. In the 90s, groups like TLC signed deals that left them broke, despite selling millions of records. Bad boy artists like The Lox publicly fought Combs over publishing rights, claiming he withheld their earnings. Cassie's testimony about her mixtape being threatened fits this pattern. Moguls can hold an artist's career hostage, forcing them to comply or lose everything. Employees face similar struggles. Mia's story of grueling hours and fear of retaliation isn't unique. Music executive Ty Sticlorius wrote in a 2024 New York Times op-ed about attending a Combs party in her 20s, where she was lured into a dangerous situation. She escaped, but said many women in the industry stay silent due to fear, blacklisting, or non-disclosure agreements. Assistants, producers, and staff often depend on powerful executives for their livelihoods, making it risky to speak out. So what's the common thread here? Power. The music industry's structure, where a few moguls and labels hold all the cards, creates an environment where abuse and exploitation can thrive. Artists and workers feel trapped because their careers, their income, their dreams depend on pleasing the people at the top. The Diddy trial is pulling back the curtain on this, but it's not the first time we've seen it, and it won't be the last unless things change. Could the Diddy trial spark real change? Since the Me Too movement, we've seen more accountability in entertainment. But accountability isn't enough. The industry needs structural changes, fairer contracts that don't trap artists, stronger protections for workers like assistants and stylists, and a culture that doesn't let fame excuse abuse. Look at artists like Taylor Swift, who fought for ownership of her masters, or Megan Thee Stallion, who sued her label for better terms. These fights show artists are pushing back, but change is slow. The trial could force labels and executives to rethink how they operate, or at least face more scrutiny. The music industry has given us incredible art, but it's also hurt a lot of people along the way. The Diddy trial isn't just about one man, it's a wake-up call for a system that's been broken for too long. As fans, we have power too. We can support artists who speak out, demand transparency from labels, and call for a safer industry. What does this trial mean for music? And how can we make the music industry better for artists and workers? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching. If this deep dive got you thinking, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos on music, culture, and the stories behind the headlines, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.